We are. What is up? Kevin Hale here, doing another round of shots on this Sunday night, October 12th, 2025. Hope everyone has had a good weekend as we wind it down and head into the new week. Got my partners in crime joining me tonight to talk. Let's see, which one am I going to do? I think I'll go with that one. We're going to go full reaction mode to Big Blue Madness that happened on a Saturday night, last night. Very cool. Reinvigorated. That was one word I saw on social media. We'll see how the panel, the table thinks. Also, part of the Big Blue Madness, John Wall made his return. I want to talk about the John Wall legacy, who John Wall is to the Kentucky basketball program, get everyone's take on that. We'll preview Texas as they came off a big win. They had a big win yesterday. They'll be rolling into the Kroger Field on Saturday for a SEC showdown as we come off, the football team comes off a bye week. We'll talk what's the latest and greatest with Stoops. We had some big-time coaches get shown the door yesterday. I saw a couple. And final shots and whatever else we want to talk about. Davo, Jay Hayes, BZ, Liff. I don't know where Buzz went, but Buzz Baker will be joining us. Davo, how are you? Real quick.
Doing well. Allergies have been kicking my ass last week or so got to get over that. But other than that, doing pretty good.
Over his shoulder and under his name, he's clearly you're making a statement. Still,
somebody's got to.
Jay Hayes, what's up, brother?
What's up, Kevin Hale?
Did you do your record your show today?
Yes, just published it about an hour ago. Yeah,
good deal. Beasy, what's up? Did you take care of business before the show?
Yes, I handled all the business before the show, and now I'm here, and I can't wait to be.
Liff, how are you, Jenna?
What's up? I'm good. How are you?
Good. Is your Athens team from Athens will be here Saturday? We'll definitely get your hot takes on that. And yeah. Mr. Baker, the legend, the man. How are you, Buzz?
Good self.
I'm good. All right. All in the chat, people watching, appreciate you. Let's do this. Big Blue Madness last night. First Saturday ever? Did it? I don't know. Back in when it was midnight, was there a Saturday, Buzz?
I asked you because It was
would
literally whatever day the 15th was.
Right.
The
So if it
NCAA
was a
said you could have your
okay.
first practice on
That's it.
October 15th at midnight.
Right. So it likely there was other, past Saturdays. But anyways, it's
Okay.
new. This is different by design. Saturday night. I think a few of you kids were there. Jay, I'll start with
Kids.
you. You were there. You said 20 years
Yeah.
straight?
Yeah. I've been going for at least 20 years.
Okay. Tell me,
Yeah.
how were you feeling?
It was good. It was good. I feel like madness is the same old thing. I don't know how you can one up every year other than reviving. Like the energy is revived. You can feel that. I don't know how you can one up. I don't know how you can top Michael and Bruce Buffer, Drake, John Wall originally coming out in 2009. I don't know how you can top those things. So the one up everyone, people are like, oh man, I think they're speaking on the revival of the energy because it was definitely there. There was some cool moments with the intros. I thought the ladies shot the ball better than the men outside of Trent Noah and Andre Yelovich. But I mean, I don't think there's a sports take that you can take away from an open practice. It's for the fans, and the energy was great.
All right, cool. Let's Jay, you said 20 years, like
Yeah.
you've been going the last 20 years. So basically every year of Jenna's life you have been.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just getting it out. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah.
Hey, I got the gray too. Though Jay, you wear the gray very well.
Thank you.
Buzz, were you there?
Yes, sir.
Tell me how it felt for you.
I think in talking about the one-upsmanship and everything, I think Pope has just kind of thrown that out the window. He wants to get in there, and I hate to say it like this, but he wants to get some work in, get some stuff done, make sure nobody gets hurt. And so that's probably why we haven't seen a lot of the other stuff that we've seen in the past. I think what he's tried to do with this one last night was to go ahead and to even solidify that connection between fans and the team and him even more. I mean, he was up in the upper deck. He was a little bit of everywhere. He had those guys come back. He's genuinely glad to see people. One of the things I'll just never forget is last night he was up in the upper deck, and he was coming down and trying to get back downstairs, and he stopped and he took like 4 or 5 really cheesy selfies with people. I mean, he was like making these goofy faces and stuff, and it's just who the guy is, and it looks like he's put together a really good basketball team too.
Oh boy, this team. Well, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, cheesy or not, Pope gets it. He knows he's been here, done that, and he plays to BBN. So good for him. Let's see, Beasy, you were there too, right?
Yes, I was at the event, and honestly, I thought last year was better than this year just because of the LED court lights last year, and I just thought it was insane, like last year compared to this year. Don't get me wrong, it was still exciting, still a lot of fun. Of course, there were some dull moments where the fans weren't cheering or really doing anything, but overall, it was still another fun year, and I was excited and very happy to see John Wall back at UK. And I know it's been a few years since he was back in Lexington. He did the Y, I know, a few years ago, but happy to see John Wall back and everything.
And everything. What's your everything from last night, Jenna?
Well, that was my first Big Blue Madness, so I don't really have anything
Okay.
to compare it to. So I think it was great.
That's fair. All right.
Ironically, in high school, we did something very similar with our football team. We had Midnight Madness, and it would be midnight when you could have your first practice. So it was kind of interesting. I didn't know they did it here until I got here, and I was like, oh, I did that in high school. But yeah, it was very – I think it's easy to forget how big Kentucky fans are during football season because there's nothing to really cheer for. And the second basketball comes around, and it's just like, oh, that's where the nation kind of is. So that was good to see. Obviously, John Wall, how can you not appreciate that? That was awesome. But yeah, I had a blast.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think and good that your first one. We all remember
Yeah.
our first. So, but you know what? The other thing too from yesterday is or last night is that Davo, as this whole new era. It's I think Buzz alluded to it. It's Pope is going to have his way. He's going to. There's things that won't be so over the top, but at the same time too, as a fan, I'm a fan. You're a fan, Davo. You got to watch today. You had Colin Chandler's moment. Noah, his that 3-point that's insane.
Yeah.
That 3-point was insane, and the athletes on this team, and we'll talk more about that too. And real quick, give the ladies some love too. It was cool because from watching it on the show or watching it from the TV, Georgia.
Mhm.
Was one of the and Robbie Moss was two of the commentators, so it was good to hear her. She's coming off an injury, right?
ACL.
ACL, right? Yeah. Okay.
Blew it out last year, the first practice.
Yes.
First official practice she was in.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, good to see them, Kentucky people repping on the mic. But Davo, you got to watch it. What was your take?
It was fun. It's Big Blue Madness. Just kind of like I said on TV, it's just a glorified pep rally. But I do agree with Dave, with Buzz. He said that Mark Pope makes it more about basketball than theatrics.
Mhm.
And you kind of seen that in the little 5-minute scrimmage of how physical they got. Once again, they was diving on the floor for balls, chasing after balls before they go out of bounds, getting super competitive. So it's obviously a lot different. The feeling is, between a Cal madness and a Pope madness. But like I said, I think we all should just appreciate the fact that he makes it about Kentucky basketball and not so much about himself. And the ladies. The ladies do look good. They're going to be solid. I think ESPN left them just out of the top 25, which is stupid. They did the same thing last year. They didn't rank them in the preseason, and they ended up like in the top 10. So
Yeah.
I'm all about that team that kind of gets overlooked a little bit. I think they're going to be super solid. They got a bunch of depth this year on the bench, which killed them last year. I think they only played like 7 players last year. So that killed them.
That's a Kenny Brooks thing, though. He always has done that. He plays a really low
short,
rotation.
smaller.
Well, yeah, he does. He likes to take his rotations and shorten them up some, but he didn't even have an opportunity to pick anybody off the bench last year, period. So I think that was his biggest problem last year. But yeah, they'll be solid.
Yeah, the one thing that's always a constant with madness. I'm gonna circle back to Buzz here. Is that video intro? Where and I'll staying with the men's. I'm at my age. I've seen a lot of Kentucky basketball, and I think present company and people watching it will it's probably safe to say we were 100% focused in tune with hoops and 0 with the football team. But anyways, Buzz, that intro, when you see that, watch that, because you've seen a lot of it, you heard a lot of it. I still get the chills when I hear K Wood's voice.
Oh, absolutely. He's the greatest to ever call college basketball and a great guy besides. And but it reminds people of the history of Kentucky basketball, and it's so different now from this standpoint. I know you think that's an old guy just making a statement, but back.
2 old guys, but anyway.
Remember now when Joby Hall started Midnight Madness, it was because he wanted to drum up interest in the basketball team. Now think about that.
Right.
So they initially did it at midnight down at Memorial Coliseum, and then they did a few things and got it rolling, and then it just got more and more. But now what happens is, in the past, that was everybody's first look at this team, right?
Right. Yeah.
There was no Twitter, there was no TikTok, there was no video flying around or being tweeted out by the coach after every practice. And so literally when and there is theatrics involved, there will be probably I would if I could get a bet on this, I would bet there were more people there for Madness than there will be for the blue white scrimmage,
Yeah.
you'll be able to see him actually play some basketball, and so that's part of the event too. But I think people need to, not only all of us need to be reminded of that, and we don't take into consideration how hard this thing is. And then for younger people, they may not know this. And the way they are right now, I bet there were people that saw somebody up there they didn't know or something, and they're immediately Googling them and looking them up. And so I think that's a great thing to expand the base too.
So this is where, Jenna, you can hold our hands and embrace and understand the history. 'Cause there is a lot of history in this.
Yeah. So
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So, Jay, I'm gonna go to you. The video intro.
Yeah, always love it. They had another video too. They had the players. I don't know if you're talking about all roads lead, but the other video talk the players looking in at the history and everything.
Yeah, I saw
Whoever
that.
made that video
Yeah.
is a bad.
No, they nailed it. Yes.
Yeah, that was amazing, and I was glued to that even afterwards when I got to see, not looking up at the board and watching it, but I got to see it on Twitter, and I was like, just maybe it was a bit dusty in there, because just looking back, like Buzz said, a lot of newer folks, even in media and the fan base, don't know some of these and don't know the history of madness and all that, but they had a fan day, which was great.
Mhm.
I saw a lot of people tweet out, this is the first fan day, but I can attest to that. They did a lot of that with the camp out. During the camp out, I saw Buzz doing the radio show in the middle of outside during a camp out. They did all those things. They used to do that. It wasn't the first. So it was good to see, the video was just, I was revived, even the last couple of Big Blue Madnesses with Cal, they were lit. They were. I mean, you'll see people tweet out, oh, it's, eventually it'll get that way with Pope as well. It will. There's only so much you can do. But it's revived now. It's that new car smell, if you will, and I like it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cars. Oh, okay.
Kev, let me tell you about that video.
Great.
The video department over at UK is as good as they get.
Yes.
A fellow named Greg Gorham, who was one of our interns forever, and it seemed like he lived at the TV station. I mean, literally lived there. They're just really good. They've hired some great people, and not only is there an emphasis from an entertainment standpoint, and that's where we get it. I mean, really big in recruiting. I mean, they start recruiting those guys and they come and they try on jerseys and things. And, by the time or before they get back home, these guys have been up all night editing something together, to kind of wow them. So it's a big part of what they do. And just one thing about the camp out, that wasn't an athletic department thing. That's the fact that they keep building all those buildings around campus
Right.
and putting students in them, and that's,
Right.
I mean, that's really.
I like it.
It's smaller now, but that parking lot at the Coliseum is really about the only place they've got to park on that side.
Yeah.
History here. BZ video intro.
Oh, I loved it and everything. I tweeted out one shot that I really loved from the video was whenever they were showing the championships, and then they pointed to Jalen Lowe to the next shot. I'm trying to see what it said back on top, the newspaper headline, and I just love that one shot. I'm like, that was perfect. Of course, the whole video was amazing. It was absolutely cinematic, I guess you could say. All the young folks would say that, but I really loved it. But like I said, that one shot of Jalen Lowe that they had, I'm like, that deserves an Emmy.
Jenna, you your first Madness, Big Blue Madness, and you to see a video. I mean, I don't know if you had the opportunity to really take it in.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I will kind of going off what everyone else was saying. The video team in Kentucky is so elite beyond like so many schools. And people underestimate how much, like, they've probably been making that video for literally 3 months. The amount of time, effort, creativity, all the things it takes to make something like that is just insane. And they do it so well every single time. and they know how to get a crowd pumped up. I mean, they find a way to do it with football too. Football team's terrible, but every time they play those videos, people get hype about it because that's their job and they do it really well. But I think it's really great. I think they always do a great job of blending the past versus the present and the future. And it's kind of just a good outlook on everything to get to, where you are now kind of thing.
I like that. Davo, your take on the video.
Oh, the video was awesome. I think Kentucky does a really good job, Kentucky basketball, and especially of always bringing up the past, right? And I know a lot of people hate that, like, oh, stop bringing up the titles from the 40s and the 50s, right? I mean, but history is history, right? So it was really cool to see them, to, basically have the younger generation, see what the older, and not even so much older, even, a few years ago, did before them, and what it means to be a Kentucky Wildcat and how important it is to us. And I think, like I said, I think the UK does a fantastic job of embracing the past, but ready to attack the future. And that's just kind of what it's all about at the University of Kentucky whenever it comes to basketball. And they showed that by having all the players, seeing, the national champions from the 50s and holding replicas of those titles and all that kind of stuff, and kind of reading like the little old newspaper clippings and stuff like that. So it was really cool. And like I said, I just love how UK always brings up the past to remind people just who the hell we really are and how serious we take it here in the Bluegrass State whenever it comes to basketball. So
we're still behind UCLA for championships, but there's no comparison with them to BBN and how what basketball means to this state. Just everything about it. I mean, it's just yesterday again watching it. It's I stand by it. I think a lot of people just parked the football program to the side, and we're just 100% focused.
Whenever it comes to UCLA, there's never going to be another jockey. So I'll use Kentucky, I guess, little example here. There's never going to be another jockey to race a horse like John Wooden did, right? And to sit there and lead that program to so many national titles again. So we're going to catch them. It's just a matter of time. That's why I said we got to attack the future.
Attack the future.
And John Wooden may have been putting some extra stuff in the feed too.
Well, the Bob Baffert of college basketball.
I didn't say that.
Let's real quick before we switch gears here. Staying with Madness, Buzz. What was the moment for you? Was it Wall? Was it Noah? I mean, was it the dance? I tell you what, let me give a quick shout out. Our cheerleading dance, I mean, the dance team, everything. I mean, I'm still watching it as they're breaking away. There's non-basketball stuff, and the dance team or the cheerleaders are on the floor. I'm still in tune because we have such a badass group of, those squads are just amazing. But Buzz, what was that moment?
They're good. We need to start winning though. This is serious. So I'm going between the stands, down on the floor, and everything. Yep. And Ryan Martin, who's the UK cheerleading coach, she cheered over at Dunbar for her mom. And my girls cheered for Ryan's mom. Mm-hmm. And I mean, she's gotten this job. She's had like about 3 kids. I mean, she's like Ricochet Rabbit. So I'm standing there talking to some people when she's coming off the court. She sees me and comes over and hugs me. I said, wow, that was really good. And she goes, it's about damn time. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about right there. Set those expectations.
Exactly.
But it was as good as I've seen them. The other thing was when you get to be in your golden years like me, you always wonder about your memory. I don't know how many, because I didn't see what they did with it on the broadcast. Did they bring all those ex-players back out onto the court, or what did they actually do? Did they do that? Yes. Okay. So they did.
At the very end, yeah.
They were
the
doing
very
it
end. Perfect.
while the video was happening. They were like,
Yes.
watching.
Okay. Good. Oh, so I'm standing up there, and I'm talking to somebody. I've got some guests there, and I was making sure they were okay. And I was right at the top of section 16, and I'm standing there talking to one of the 101 guys, and all of a sudden somebody smacks me on the back. And it's like, here come all these guys. I mean, I don't know how many there were, but they just kept coming and coming and coming. And I was able to call every one of them by name except for the very last guy.
Mm.
And I'm like, wow. Now, when you see that and you see those guys interacting with each other, and you see the people react to them, up in the stands and everything. That's what Dave-O was talking about. That's what the deal is that makes and all the major places that are doing well, they've all got their deal that is special. The thing that Iowa does with those kids in the hospital up there in the fourth quarter. All that stuff is just amazing. But that kind of connection is what sets this program apart.
I'm with you, Jay. That one shining moment.
That was funny about Dave. I was in section 16E, so yeah.
Were you? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was in 16. But I had a couple moments. I thought the John Wall. As soon as I heard the music, I knew. I mean, like I kind of expected it. There were some hints going on before, throughout the week. But when I heard the music, I was like, "Oh shit, John Wall, he is here." So that was pretty exciting. Seeing the fans embrace him after 16 years, he's back.
It's been
for madness.
16 years.
Yeah,
good Lord, man.
Back for madness. But Oway coming out, I thought, for me, my opinion was the hypest, because he was also in the video last. It showed him last, just, so him coming out was pretty live for me. The dunk contest was great. I thought Colin Chandler's first dunk was better than the 2 feet inside the free throw line. Other than John Wall throwing him a lob. I like the first dunk better. I thought Hawthorne's dunk was better than it got graded. But yeah, I had fun. The highlight, John Wall. Yeah.
BZ, your highlight.
Yeah, for me, like what Jay was saying, there were quite a few. I think a few of the walkouts that I really liked, other than Otega Owais, was honestly Jaden Quaintance's, and then of course you can't forget about Trent Noah coming out with Jordan Smith. Like that was amazing. Like that was great. And then I really liked Jasper Johnson's intro. Like there were quite a few players that I really loved their intros. Plus, of course, John Wall coming out. That was insane. And then you saw both Mark Pope and John Wall doing the, dance together. So that was cool to see. But like I said, there were quite a wow moments, So it's hard to choose one. But I would definitely say probably the one that stood out to me other than John Wall coming out is probably, John Wall throwing the lob to Colin Chandler during the dunk contest, and then they started to do the Dougie and started to flex after that dunk. And of course, Chandler won the dunk contest for the second year in a row, but that was pretty awesome.
That's right, he did win it. Okay, that's second year in a row. Buzz, can we get you to do the John Wall?
No.
Come
on.
on.
I was just going to say,
come on.
Here's what happens to you, okay?
Do a shot with me, then do it.
So the lone lady on the panel tonight, I want you to watch her face. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Reese Potter came out there and couldn't dance if somebody threw $100 bills out in front of him.
100.
I mean, did you see that thing? He would never get a call back.
He
would never get a call
He
back
walked out
from
to
one of
party
your
in the
friends.
USA. Was that him?
What's that?
Did he walk out to party in the USA? Was that him?
No, that was Cam Williams.
Oh.
No.
Which that caught me off
second or
guard.
third guy, the young man that played at Lexington Catholic.
Yeah, he's what is he, 7'2", 7'3"? How tall is he?
7'1" or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, how many 7-footers do we have on this team?
I mean, my boy Walker Horn tried to do it, but he just did it as an advertisement, and he was going to stop. But he could say, "I did it." And then he pulled out the
Texas legend Walker Horn.
what's that?
Austin, Texas legend Walker Horn.
Austin, Texas legend.
He went to high school like 10 minutes from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We remember his dad, young Darren, when he took Tate's Creek to the state high school basketball championship here, and they lost to Anthony Epps in Marion County.
Yeah. All right. I still have plenty of time to try
But
to
go back and look at that thing. I mean, it's like Herman Munster.
Oh, you can do that? You can do this?
It's like,
You can do this, but you can't do this. Okay, come on.
Like,
I didn't see that. They didn't show that on the replay of Coach Pope doing it with John Wall, so that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Just type it in on Twitter. You'll find it.
Yeah, that's true. I'll find it.
Yeah. All right, good stuff.
What was the number one most requested wedding song this weekend, Davo, before we get tight on time?
Oh man, you're throwing that out. You wouldn't know it because it was a lot of brand new
Wow.
booty
He had an issue.
Did you hear that? I want to file an HR complaint.
Well,
You
so
wouldn't know it because there's a lot of new stuff out right now.
well, okay, so I'll tell you. I know Jay would know this one because I know Jay knows music. So the biggest song that popped, believe it or not, was Mystical, "Shake Your Ass." That was a big hit. Yeah,
They'll be divorced in 2 years.
Oh no.
And look, and then I got to show this. This is my friend.
oh Lord.
I didn't watch 1 minute because it's college football season. Wow.
Got a point.
Yeah.
Okay, no, she's got a point, but
Yeah.
I mean, this
You can watch
season
two things at one time.
you can't multitask, friend. All right,
But I'll tell you
she's gonna
that
get her on.
the thing that these kids do that drives me crazy is
Okay.
they all have their subtitles on whatever they're watching. And it just like
Yeah.
aggravates the stupid out of me because it takes away the entire bottom third screen.
I bet you Jenna's Instagram would probably just annoy the AF out of you.
Yeah, probably. Mm,
Listen, when you've got Instagram and TikTok,
Okay,
you
that's
have
fair.
to with your
We
account
do.
name, so you don't caught stalking. But
It's called
No, it's
research
just-
for us.
I just don't understand why the subtitles are there. I mean, the only movie that should have subtitles is Tora, because they don't have any translation. And when that thing came out in the 70s, it did have translation on it.
or a Godzilla.
Ooh, Godzilla.
Godzilla. All right.
Godzilla.
Hey, before we get to football and talk about, unfortunately, what we got coming up the rest of the season, I think Colin Chandler is going to be the MIP of this season, the most important player. He's not going to be the best player, but I'm telling you, he's finally had a full year of running with the team and really getting to know the system even more. And you see how freaky athletic he is. We know he can shoot. He's gonna catch some charges this year with some bodies. He's gonna put a couple people on a poster this year. So I am super excited to watch him play this year.
And Dave-O, think about what you just said. When he was on that Mormon mission and the way that his time was compressed, I bet there wasn't more than a handful of times that he picked up a weight during that period of time.
He said he really couldn't because he had to focus so much on what was going on. Mm-hmm. And now he's married too. So now he's got his wife to impress too.
He's got a wife.
Yep.
All right.
Why does this screen keep changing?
That was me. I was like, there's
Were you trying to see
people's
if any of us were
comments.
epileptic or what? I mean, I don't.
There's
get a
just
stroke
comments.
there or
I'm just
something, right.
Okay. Never mind. All right. I mean, geez. Stay with before we get to the next talking point. Buzz, this team loaded with talent. There's a lot of talent on this team. But what's your high level 30,000-foot view of this team at this moment? Do you see like a 10-man rotation? Do we even think about the P word? platoon? No. Okay. All right. I had zero problem with the platoon. We went undefeated until Wisconsin.
Until we didn't.
Until we didn't. But yeah.
If
Anyway.
only there was a way we could have gone undefeated.
We could have. We were close. But Buzz, this team so far, what do you like? What are you feeling?
I think they're really good. I think they're more athletic than they were last year.
Mhm.
I think they bought in exactly to what Pope was doing. I think they were not only able to have the success that they did, but they were able to show other people that I won't say recruited, because it's not just recruited now, signees or whatever you want to call them now, that would be interested in that style of play. And I think they attracted a lot of different folks. If we get these last couple of injuries, cleared up, to me, this is going to shock a lot of people. I don't know if they heard it last week, but Pope said he wanted this team to spread the floor more and shoot more threes from what they did last year, which was like manna from heaven for Kentucky fans, and it was incredibly successful as well. So I'm really, really optimistic. I hope people don't lose their minds early. I mean, that's tough early sledding right there. When you go Purdue, who's most people's preseason number one, and then you get Georgetown, you got Louisville in the month of November, Carolina like early in December,
Our
Gonzaga
non-conference
on December
schedule.
5th.
Our
What's that?
non-conference schedule is great. I mean, from a fan perspective, there's some really good matchups for us.
And remember, that was always the case with their non-conference, except for the UKIT. But now the conference is so much better.
And then right, yeah. So, all right. Who else? Jay, what was your like? Am I? What am I? So what am I? I actually don't even know where I'm at right now.
Pope.
Go ahead. Go.
So he came in the first year talking about he was going to shoot a lot of threes. It didn't happen because guys were playing too much. So then he got a deep team. This team is deep. I don't know how athletic. I think we do have a couple athletic guys. Maybe concerning that our best shooter might play 12 to 15 minutes in Trent Noah.
Yeah.
That's to be determined. D and 3, we'll see. But I like, Pope said he's going to shoot more threes. We know that he's going to make these guys' stats look a lot better, but not playing so much time. So I'm excited about it. I think this team's going to be a lot better.
BZ.
The question.
The is the team looking at the team right now.
The only question that I have is just the 3-point shooting, but they surprised me yesterday with Andrei Yelovich shooting the ball so well, and then of course we all knew Trent Noah. He is going to be crazy this upcoming year with his 3-point shooting, and he also actually impressed me during Pro Day. I was at that event, and he wasn't even just shooting the ball. Of course he was, but he was also playmaking a little bit. Of course he wasn't necessarily dribbling, but passing the ball, finding an open player. I'm like, if he can actually improve on his playmaking, he's going to be dangerous this upcoming year. But no, this year's team is definitely going to be deep. Hopefully Otegowe is back. Of course, he was in part of scrimmaging yesterday with his turf toe injury, and then Jaden Quaitons, hopefully he gets back healthy. But like I said, the physicality of this year's team is going to be insane. My only worry is 3-point shooting. Hopefully we'll be fine with that, but I'm really impressed with this year's team, and easily we're like 10 deep potentially.
Same for you, Jenna. Go.
First of all, hot take, they need to change the name of turf toe. It just sounds so lame and like a loser. Like, oh, you're out for how long because of turf? Like, they just need to come up with a better name for it.
Soundbite of the night.
Like the most like lame, like, oh my god. Like, it's just the most lame name ever. And it's like
kind of like
it sounds like it should be like a 24-hour injury. And it's like, no, he's out for 6 months with turf toe. You're like,
amazing. That is
so
good.
Oh,
That is so good.
You got a pop out of Buzz, but go ahead.
I'll switch it up. I'll talk about the women's team instead because I covered women's all last year. Kentucky is the best player in the country with Clara Strack. there's a lot of stats where I think she was more valuable to Kentucky last year than Georgia Amore was for a lot of reasons. But I think this year they have the best player in the country. They have so much depth. Will Kenny Brooks use it? We'll see. Even when he was at Virginia Tech, he didn't. He liked his very short bench. That's just what he's always done. Maybe he'll switch it up because of what he has this year. It's so different. But they look incredible, and I think it's the first time in a long time where you're seeing Kentucky basketball, like men's basketball and women's basketball, be talked about on the same level, which I just think is great because it should be like that. And I give a lot of credit to Kenny Brooks for that. He's done an amazing job, and I think they're going to do amazing this year. Same with the men's, of course.
You know, I'm going to pledge, and I'll say this, and for what it is, this show, I do focus more on football and men's basketball, not enough of the other sports. Mm-hmm. But Jenna, I promise, every time if you commit to hear women's basketball during basketball season will be part of the. All right, we'll do that.
We'll be talking about it.
All right, appreciate you. Okay, let me go to John Wall. He was the surprise guest or whatever, and John Wall is, to me, the whole one and done. When Cal showed up, John Wall, that whole squad, which is another talking point. That team was just badass. But Buzz Baker, John Wall, what is he to the program in your, from your perspective? What does he mean?
Well, you want to know how short the window is in this deal?
Bring it.
He's probably like the senior statesman. I mean, or one of them. Most of the, we're getting to the point where the people that are coming into play now really don't have any memory of him at Kentucky.
Mm.
They've seen him play in the NBA, and they haven't seen him play for the last 2-3 years. John was always a great kid when he was here. He came from a very challenging background, and he didn't talk a lot, but he was a very serious old soul. No tattoos.
Great take. Yes.
No tattoos. I mean, you could sit and have a great conversation with him. He was very interested in stuff that was going on outside of basketball and everything. Okay. But man, he could just play. I mean, he was unique from the standpoint that he could give the ball up, find the open man, and give him something they can handle. He could create off the dribble. He could play through contact. And, I think, because of his emotions, I think Cuz got an awful lot of credit. I think he deserved every bit of it. But to me, John Wall was as important to Calipari and to his trajectory of the program as Jamal Mashburn was to Rick Pitino.
Wow, that's a great comparison. Mashburn, Pitino, Wall, Calipari. Mm-hmm. Jay, John Wall, Cal, they're to me a package deal. That whole first season, Cal's first season, and the team that Calipari assembled. Wall was the blueprint of the team. He was a future, first pick in the NBA. He brought the dance. He brought this whole swag back to Kentucky basketball, where it was cool. I mean, we were part of at that point on the national stage. It was a show that first season. You had a team that went 35-3, right? Something like that. Yeah. But Wall was the guy, and I'll go and say it. There's several years where Calipari missed out on, or was close to a national championship. That first season with that squad, it was right there for the taking. But for you, Jay, John Wall, what did that mean?
Well, now John Wall, the 16 years later, John Wall showing up to the University of Kentucky without the former coach lets you know that Kentucky is indeed the brand.
Meant something to him. Yep.
And that says a lot to recruits and
That's
the
a
younger
good point.
people, because Buzz is right. Now you're going to start getting to these younger folks. They're not going to know. I don't know about John Wall because it's a basketball thing. If you're around basketball, someone is going to tell you about John Wall. They're going to be interested in John Wall, just the name. And to see him show back up to Kentucky, the brand is big. I don't know if people know how big that is, but it's huge. So John Wall, man, got us back on track, got us exciting, got us gold standard. And now 16 years later, without the former, here we go again.
Mm-hmm. Davo, he started, arguably, was one of the first, the players that, in college basketball that the whole one and done thing just kind of took off along with him. And, and then he became kind of like the guy who started that NBA pipeline for Calipari's pitch to all the recruits that followed. But what's your
What world are you talking about? World Wide West?
World Wide Web.
Yeah, them too.
They have no idea who that is.
yeah. He's in that. It's that gray area, right?
Those guys did, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to pull a kid out of North Carolina with North Carolina and Duke, pretty special.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
It's
Right.
just a great sales job.
Right.
Well,
Right. That's part of the job.
Part of the job. Davo, John Wall to you, sir.
Well, so you skipped me on my high level take of Kentucky basketball. This
Oh well,
year.
the God.
So I'll get that out of the way.
That way,
real quick.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Sorry.
I felt like, damn, man, you forgot about me already. No, but so whenever it comes to my high level take with Kentucky basketball, it's really easy to see that this team is going to be super duper athletic, right? A lot of get to the rims, a lot of dunk on you, a lot of probably break your ankles, leave some feet on the floor type deals. And I'm not so worried about the 3-point shooting. You got Trent Noah, and I don't see how Pope is going to keep him on the bench and not playing.
Defense.
Well, yeah, but points matter too. I can see a 17-minute a game kind of guy. I really can. I mean, it's hard to keep that kind of scoring on the bench. But you have his shooting ability. You have Colin Chandler's shooting ability. Yelovich is making that number 4 proud from last year, right? He's going to be a stretch 5 that can put it in the bucket. So I'm not too super duper worried about whenever it comes to 3-point shooting. I think this team is going to be fun and athletic.
But let me. The 3-point shooting that we saw last night is one thing. In a game where you're being defended, it's another. But we'll cross that bridge later.
It is, but this team is going to have the ability to get to the rim a lot easier, which is going to be able to let the guys be more open on the outside.
Yep.
And last year they just stuck on our guys outside because we didn't have a lot of guys besides Oweh who could really even get to the rim. So I'm pretty excited about that. John Wall was the firm foundation of what Kentucky basketball is known to a lot of the country now, right? It is that swaggy school that Cal used to say back in the day, you're going to hate us because we're going to come to your town and we're going to beat you. That program that everybody has always, damn it, they better have always known about us and respected us. But just that school that everybody knows and everybody knows of who they are now, and that is University of Kentucky basketball, the gold standard, the brand of NCAA Division I men's basketball.
And yesterday reminded everyone, unfortunately, if you're a football person, pardon the gender, we're a basketball school. Sorry, we're a basketball school.
You mean like Indiana?
Well, you know what? We're
talk about that
because I tell you what. For Kentucky football, the elephant in the room is Indiana's a top 5. They are top 5. They will be in the college football. Well, yeah, 3. Louisville's better than us. All right,
Vanderbilt's better than us.
Take a break. Collect your
Every
thoughts.
Yeah, well,
Present them in an orderly
I'm not
fashion.
talking
That's
about
the way this
I'm
Every
gonna
genre
say,
team we can name off is better than us.
let's give Wall his flowers real quick. Who's next? Beezy, do you? What's your history with Wall?
Yeah, so like I said, I remember partly Tubby Smith and Billy Gillespie growing up, but I would say like John Wall was like my first ever team that I remember like watching growing up. I was 10 years old whenever John Calipari took over. John Wall came to town, so
Good Lord.
it was very exciting
10
for me
years
to
old.
see John Wall back in town. I interviewed him over the summer whenever he announced his retirement, and that was a surreal moment for me. But it was great to see John Wall back and for him to do his dance. And like I said, it just meant a lot because I know some players, after Arkansas defeated Kentucky, some former players were like, "Good job, John Calipari, for defeating Kentucky." A lot of fans got upset with those players, but it was just great to see John Wall back and supporting the university as well.
Kevin, in terms of that shooting discussion, shooting and defense, Tubby Smith, who I love, didn't recruit Chris Lofton because he thought he was going to be a liability on defense, according to those that were close to him. Now, I don't know what the point differential was, but I'd like to take my chances with him out shooting somebody than somebody else stopping somebody.
How Lofton? We let Lofton get away. That's another mind-boggling
I just told you
thing.
how.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
I mean,
did
there's
tell me.
Why? Stories
Yeah.
like that.
And Tennessee has never been to a Final Four.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
We'll get that.
It's
But
great.
there are other stories like that, Kev. I mean,
I know.
Northern Kentucky, Boone County was in the Lexington High School football district. And Sean Alexander must have played
Sean.
Lexington teams or played in Lexington 5-6 times his senior year. And the Kentucky folks didn't take him because they didn't think he was fast enough to be in the SEC.
Not 6-7 days.
And that's why they get the big bucks. But I mean, those kind of things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still see Chris Lofton at like every Tennessee Kentucky basketball game at Rupp Arena. It feels like every year. Like I see him in the crowd. Like he'll be sitting like 2 sections behind the Tennessee bench or something. It feels like.
Well, he's earned that spot in Rupp during a Tennessee game because he was Tennessee badass as far as I'm concerned.
He put up 30 in Rupp, so
He did. Yeah, he did. All right. So, any phone? Did you, Jenna?
Nope.
Did you get? Oh, nope. Speaketh. Nope. There's too many people here. I lose track. This is why I do this shit by myself. If I had Buzz,
What?
how do I get an assistant? Never mind.
How
Jenna,
do you
go.
get an assistant?
No, never go.
Who do you think has an assistant?
Okay.
I'm my assistant. I'm working on the stuff like weather radar and stuff for tomorrow while we're doing the show.
Weather? Do you do weather for the show?
No. In addition to my on-air stuff, I'm in charge of special projects. So right now we're just looking at logistics for a radar and some upgrade on some of our weather cameras.
I mean, if there's anywhere I can get my weather forecast from you, Buzz, tell me.
You're not getting it from me. I can tell you that.
Let Jenna.
But what
talk.
were you talking about just before that?
Well, let Jenna give her take.
Oh no, I know what it was now. I'm sorry. So I've got a niece over on campus, and I know Friday was a big day socially over there on campus, and I'm just wondering how Jenna's doing here on a Sunday night after a big collegiate weekend.
What was on Friday?
I heard it was like the drinking Olympics or something.
Is she gone to Two-Fisted Willie's?
Hold on. This is what I deal with. This is why I love life. Did you hear what she said? What do you mean? And she goes, "Oh, that."
Well, I was really talking about scholarship day. That's the only thing that I think happened on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big day. But you okay? You good? You had a good weekend?
Oh, I'm great.
When do you become legal, Jenna?
Next July.
Next July. I saw so many people last night in Lexington wearing banana outfits.
Banana
I saw that.
I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, so they do this thing where if you dress as a banana, you like can skip the line at every bar. It's like a bar crawl, but you have to wear the banana costume and then
Well,
you like
that's ridiculous.
you
So
like
that's how you get into bars.
Two-fisted Willies.
not me. I don't go out. I legally can't do that. I don't be doing that.
Okay.
All the rules.
Does
Thank you, Senator.
any of your little ID cards validate that you?
I got one
Well,
ID card, and it's
okay.
my driver's license.
All right, we'll leave it at that. So, give us your take on this. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know anything about basketball growing up because Texas basketball, like, who cares about Texas basketball, right? It's a football school. But I knew who John Wall was because that's just who John Wall was. His brand was so big, it went everywhere. Everyone knew who he was. And I also think it's really special when one and dones are so involved in their school because I think it's so easy for players to immediately go pro. They don't really care about their school. I mean, I saw Kevin Durant. He's Texas through and through, and John Wall's very similar, where they take a lot of pride in the 1 year they played there, but it was like the best year, and they embody everything that the school represents. I always think that's really special, and what makes him such like a icon at Kentucky and just all of college basketball.
I like that. And, in players' defense, Buzz, the one and done guys, they leave after 1 year.
They don't really have time to
Yeah, they're not per se leaving the school because of some bad experience.
Yeah.
They're capitalizing on that moment.
But it's the same thing where it's like if you're spending 1 year to school, it's hard to build any sort of connection to it. So when players are able to do that, I think it's really special. But yeah, I mean,
John Wall will forever be special. That that season after Gillespie, the whole Billy G experience, that was a fun year. Absolutely fun year.
Kev, if any one of our kids had the opportunity to leave after 1 year of college and make that kind of money, and we didn't drive them there ourselves,
right?
We could be found guilty in a court of law of
Libel.
parental malfeasance.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just it's just amazing that people still have this conversation.
Mm.
And I mean, Jamal Mashburn, so many others have been ultra successful. He still has a scholarship for kids here in Fayette County each and every year, and the numbers of scholarships he's given out already have been really big. He was that 1 year, speaking of what you're saying, Jenna, that 1 year allowed him to make some connections here in Lexington and some other players that I know of people who handle their money and handle the money of lots of big money people. And so they were able to, the grace of God and their athletic ability got them to make that money. And then they had the good sense of people around them to go ahead and make sure that they took care of that money.
Mm-hmm. And pay it forward when they can.
Sure, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. I know I'm probably going to beg for a few minutes after the hour, but let's talk, Kentucky football. We're going to get the comedy show. Don't worry. And when we do, I'm going to be next to you in Frankfurt streaming live on
the back porch.
On the back porch. Yes.
Yeah.
Doing our own round of shots. Texas is our next football game. And then Tennessee, right? Coming off a bye week, we already know our history with bye weeks. But Jenna, I'll start with you because Texas is who we're playing, and you got your history with Texas.
Oh yeah,
What say you? Go.
I got my Texas jersey back there. I was wearing it loud and proud until I had to go to Big Blue Madness. I didn't doubt for a second. I knew we were beating Oklahoma. I've been to the Red River rivalry like my whole life.
Yep.
Love that game. It's so much fun. But yeah, we're gonna get absolutely ass whooped, like so bad. Arch Manning has figured out his stuff. Steve Sarkisian did what he needed to do in subbing out the dudes on the O-line who sucked and put in freshmen who figured their stuff out. he knows how to coach. Mark Stoops does not. Therefore, we're going to lose. And I'm going to
Where's the lie so far?
like the thing about Texas is everyone put all this. You Arch Manning aside, Texas's defense is so incredible. Like they're just going to absolutely murder Cutter Bully, and it's so sad because there's going to be so much hate on Cutter as it has been that he's not the guy. But at the end of the day, I think you could put Arch Manning on Kentucky, and we would still be that bad because I just don't think we know how to develop players. But yeah, I think we lose by like 27.
What is the spread? Do we know?
12 and a half. 12 and a half. Hammer that. Hammer that shit.
Nah, 27. This is like I'm like being so biased right now. 100%. I want Texas to win. Like I do.
Hook 'em, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kentucky this is not where that losing streak ends. That home losing streak ends. They're not going to get their first win at home against an SEC opponent in 2 years on Saturday. I don't think they will this season, but
that's I expect we run the table in a negative way when it comes to the SEC. Jay, I'm going to switch to you. Tennessee, what's your take? I know.
Tennessee is a while away, so
you're getting
why do I keep saying
you're getting the real UT and UTK mixed up?
I know. Sorry, Texas.
So coming into the season, I felt, of course, I picked Texas to win, but I felt pretty good about putting a W next to Kentucky. Even more so now, I do not think that Texas has gotten it figured out. I do not think Sark is that great of a coach. Their defense, I will give Jenna that their defense is pretty beast, but no one got fired in the last week and a half when we thought they would be fired through the rumor mill.
Not everybody thought they would be fired.
There you go. Some people knew. Some people knew.
That was just
there you go.
Internet claptrap.
Right.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
So I think Kentucky. I think they get the W. Am I optimistic? Of course I am. I want that to happen for motivated Mark Stoops.
I will say with my luck, Kentucky will win just to spite me and so I can just be sad all the time. It would if it were to happen, I wouldn't be that shocked because I just
Kentucky's due for some good to come their way.
Yeah.
I think that Kentucky's defense is all over Manning. They're like, we got a good win against a beat up quarterback who was once in the running for Heisman, is no longer in the conversation because he's been hurt. So that's the good win you got. Who threw 3 interceptions? Okay. Just show up to Kroger Field under the lights. It's time for the chrome to come out. I'm saying Kentucky with the W.
I'll place a bet right now. There's going to be more orange in that stadium than there is going to be blue.
And next week we have
really?
And next week we have a special guest to talk about it. So, Kentucky with the dub.
It will be interesting.
Special guest on your show or this show?
Yeah, on my show.
Okay. Or he's already promoting his show on my show.
It will be interesting to see how many Texas fans are there because
there will be a lot.
At the time those season tickets and individual game tickets went on sale, it was a time where they just weren't burning up the turnstiles over at Kroger Field.
My whole family's coming up.
Woo!
Yeah,
Were there a bunch of them or what?
I have 5. My mom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin. I got a crew coming up. Texas love to travel, and they've obviously never been to Lexington.
Hey, well after Kentucky wins, take them by to see Rupp Arena.
Jay, get Jenna on your show next.
They could actually see the blue-white game on Friday night because the blue-white game is Friday night.
Yeah, it's Friday night. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, BZ, Texas.
Yeah, I think UK, they'll play similar to as what they did against Ole Miss. Maybe they won't cause Arch Manning to have 2 interceptions, but I do think the defense will keep it close. And, of course, UK lost by, I think, 10 points against Ole Miss. But I could see Texas covering the spread, and they win by 13, I would say. But I'll go with 30 to 17 Texas. UK again won't win another home game, and it'll be 2 years without an SEC home win. So hopefully things can change it soon, but I don't think they will.
Keep the streak alive.
Dave-O, what say you?
His-
Look over his
sign-
shoulder.
his
Look
sign
under
says
his.
it.
I honestly don't give a shit. I haven't been so over anything in my entire life at this point. But I do agree with Jay. For some reason or another, this could be the only SEC win for Kentucky, and it's gonna fucking get Mitch Barnhart all hard somewhere, and probably get another couple years on his contract. Because he'd be like, "Oh well, he can do it," like look at this, right? So
After he wins against Texas, his buyout will increase
double.
10
It'll
million.
I
double.
think what would be more sad is like the fact that I think the student section would rush the field and it would be against like a number 22 team.
Oh, 100% we would, because we ain't won an SEC game at home in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like
100% they
it doesn't matter, but just the fact where it's like
Yeah.
if we would, it's like a number 22. Like that's just so embarrassing.
Don't be don't be a buzzkill, Jenna. Let the fans have their.
But I don't care. I mean, I know I'm a Kentucky fan through and through, and that's just what I do. KY till I die, like Jasper. But I'm over it, and it's honestly just been such a slow, painful death. It's not even with a knife. It's like with a lukewarm needle, just stabbing us over and over and over again, and we haven't popped and we haven't bled out. And I'm tired of this shit. So I don't care.
A lukewarm needle.
Yeah.
I think Texas by 3 touchdowns.
Buzz, what's your Texas take?
I don't do predictions. I don't do predictions. I don't know what they've done this week, what they haven't done.
All right? Well, then, what's the weather forecast going to be like?
I think it's supposed to be in the 70s.
Okay, well, tell us
I saw rain.
I can tell you there's 100% chance of darkness for the 7:00 kickoff.
Oh yeah, wow! And it's on Isn't it on ESPN?
I think that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So we got a national audience, and okay. Hey, maybe the stars align, and
That's right.
We can get this. All right. Okay. I got to bring this up as we're winding down. The coaching carousel. I mean, this is shit's happening. Our coach is on the hot seat, but
Is he?
Yeah, he is. And Penn State's coach was on the hot seat, but not anymore. Penn State, just like, look, enough's enough. They're a football school.
That's a school that exactly.
Yeah, so they give a shit on what the program is all about. Now, granted, you look at Franklin's stats, he's won his fair share, but he clearly could not win the big ones, the games that mattered. And they
did a wonder at Vandy.
Yeah, he did, and he beat us a few times, right?
That's not. Is that like an accomplishment though? Like,
Let me finish my
not a football school.
Let me finish my take here. So I can't even finish because I don't know. So BC, I'm gonna put you on the spot. You put a tweet out, or is it a tweet? It's X, what a post. Would BBN be opposed to Franklin being the coach? And you had the image with him in blue and Kentucky.
Yeah.
And then in fairness, you got guys like me. I'm not going to speak for Buzz. Maybe I can. Look at that post like, oh no. Why? Did you put that out there because you thought that Franklin could come in and be the guy, or you were just making a general take?
Just a general take, as the young folks would say. I was order farming or engagement baiting, as they would say.
Rage baiting, right? Is that the term now? Rage baiting?
No, because you're not. It's like rage baiting would be like he is going to be the coach.
Yeah,
Like,
but no, I wouldn't want
on purpose.
Yeah, I wouldn't want James Franklin as the next head coach for Mark Stoops. Of course, I would love to get maybe John Summerall if we could. Of course, he's at Tulane right now, and any team will want him for sure. UNC, if Bill Belichick gets fired, will want him. Arkansas, like any team that will fire their head coach will be going after John Summerall. One of my favorite coaches I would love to get though is Will Stein. Of course, he played at Louisville. If we do fire Mark Stoops, like I would love to get Will Stein as the next head coach.
Where is he at right now?
Oregon. He's the
Oregon.
offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
Manning.
that's right. Yeah. Who just took the L against IU? IU's legit. Wow. And that to me is, again, an eye opener. But Buzz, with the Franklin takes out there, because it's not just Beasy that put it out there. There's a few BBN people like, what about Franklin?
Why do you look at that stuff? I mean, if we're gonna do shows like this, we have got a responsibility. We like to talk about how crazy fans are and everything. It's all fanned by stuff like this,
right? But I'm catering to the.
Let's take football totally out of this.
Okay.
Did you see any of James Franklin's contract?
It's insane.
He's getting
dollar-wise
$20,000 a day.
Well, actually, Jenna, you
5 cents a second.
How much again?
25 cents a second until 2031.
So why would he want to coach Patrick Mahomes? Why would he want to coach the New York Yankees? Why would he want to coach John Cena? He's not going to be involved in any of this stuff, and anybody that thinks he does is just out of their minds. And I mean, I think we got a responsibility to try to keep this thing on the rails every bit as much as we can. And then who would want him?
Who would want him? I don't want him.
I love John Summerall. Love him. We're Facebook friends, still in contact. I mean, I don't.
Well, if you're Facebook friends, and
he's never been at this level. I mean, we communicate with each other. I mean, he's never been at this level, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you want to poo-poo Kentucky in football and talk about, the fact that they're not like top 5 or whatever, which is accurate, okay? But then you go Kentucky to Tulane, that's an entirely different drop, right? I mean, and I don't mean this to sound like this, but Hal Mummy could call plays. He couldn't run a program.
Right.
And I mean, there's something going on up there. And listen, we could find out there's all kind of stuff going on up there at Penn State. Who knows? But before anybody calls them or refers to them reverently, like they're somehow the Yale of the Big Ten, remember they let Jerry Sandusky run wild up there for a long time.
A sicko program still, to me.
For a long time.
Yeah. That's I
yield back the balance of my time.
Yeah. You yield. Jay Franklin.
That's a negative.
Negative.
I wouldn't. Like I said, he did do wonders. At Vandy, and that's really saying something for football. But
the guy now is doing wonders.
Look what they're doing now. Look what they're doing in Indiana. You can name a handful of teams. So I don't buy the Kentucky will never be a football school from people when it says that. Maybe I'm a dreamer. I don't know. Maybe I believe too much. Maybe I'm too much of a fan. Maybe I hope too much. I'll never stop doing that. I think that Kentucky, especially in this era of football, we see it happen in other places that it shouldn't happen. So maybe one day we get the right coach. I don't think anybody knows who it is. John Summerall, I would love that, but I think he wants to go somewhere that can win a program, and Kentucky just is not that right now. So, as far as Franklin, absolutely not. I do not like Franklin. So
see, I think that's a secondary question. Okay. Now I hate to sound, like some spokesperson or something, but currently there is no opening.
Yeah.
And I mean, with everything they've got going on here right now, and from my read on what's going on over there with the administration, you're not going to see a bunch of money come falling out.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I mean, whether whether Bush Hamden was ever on a short leash or not, they weren't going to pull the trigger on that with another $2 million plus being owed on the contract, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about the situation when Eddie Gran was there before he came back and in his administrative role. But I mean, I just don't see that stuff happen. But the real question is how does a guy do it in what, 2 years and change at Vanderbilt?
Mm-hmm.
How does another guy do it in 2 years and change at Indiana?
Right.
And change.
And with all the money and resources we are putting into this thing here, to me, the real question should be, why hasn't it happened? And what has to happen for it to take place?
Athletic directors all around college sports
It's
are getting it done, but ours is not.
Well, are there that many getting it done? Because there are a lot of traditional programs too that are still struggling with the model.
Right.
Enough to be noticed by a school that so badly wants to compete in the SEC. Yes.
Well, like you, I just want to bring this up, and I understand that, and I don't mind defending Barnhart, but I mean, here's the deal. I mean, Ross Bjork is up there at Ohio State. Ross Bjork had problems down at Ole Miss. Then he goes to A&M, and he's the guy that tried to hire Stoops before he was overridden by his board of trustees. So, I know everybody thinks he's AD of the year, but let's go ahead and look deep into that resume.
But they got a legitimate shot this year to win it, and that really didn't take so long. So getting things done.
It's as a fan, from a fan's perspective, it's really disheartening because people diehard BBN can shit on IU and Louisville, but they are ways ahead of us. And to see in IU to do what they're doing, they're in an elite conference. They beat yesterday an elite program on the. It was at
Oregon.
It was a traditional Big Ten rival in Oregon.
It was like Oregon's first loss at home and crazy.
I mean, that's sound the alarms with us. We are not anywhere near the triangle of schools here, and it's
dude. Where do you think Louisville is?
What do you mean? What do you think? I live in Louisville.
They ain't no Ferrari right now.
No, but they're better than us.
Give Signetti all the credit in the world.
Okay, when we roll into, we're going to get our asses handed to us.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a testament to how good they are. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying what they're better than us.
We are miles behind IU.
We are.
I'd say right now we are.
We are. Yeah.
We don't have the excitement. We don't have the depth. We have not done as well in the portal as IU has under Signetti. Yeah. I don't see Louisville as having this considerable lead over Kentucky and that stuff. And that's not being a Kentucky guy or whatever. Yeah. They just haven't flipped the script.
As a Kentucky fan, if Louisville's this much over us, that's too much.
You got to throw that out the window for a rival game, though. I mean, we were 26-point underdogs. They had a Heisman Trophy winner. We went in and won.
I disagree with Patino. It's not about the journey. It's about the destination. I believe the Russians were ahead of us when they put Sputnik up in the air, right? But it was Neil Armstrong from Wapakoneta, Ohio, who set that foot down on the moon.
Never happened.
I watch the History Channel religiously.
Never happened.
Ancient aliens, mostly, but anyways, I digress. All right, so I want to do this. I have to call out. Now, I'm not media. I'm a fan who does a freaking Sunday night podcast with friends. But last week we did a show, and the talking point was that we're going to fire the the OC this week. It was going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I'll call out the media, whether it's present. I'm sorry if it's present company. If any of y'all did this, but no one knows what the fuck's going on. I mean, seriously, there was a lot of people that were like, there was a timeline that the OC was going to be fired on this day, blah 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 blah, and it didn't happen. Mm-mm. This is where I have to, the whole media thing, especially with BBN. I mean, that's why I'm not a news source. I don't want to talk news. I like talking opinions. So, the whole notion that, we're getting rid of coaches and stuff like it, pump the brakes. And clearly with Barnett, he's not going to pull the trigger during the season. It's not going to happen. Mm-mm. And
let me just stop you there.
Bring it.
If they did, I would go back to the CM Newton model, which I think is the last time that happened.
Okay.
And that's when he fired Bill Curry in the middle of the year. But I'm not sure where the schedule is right now, but he waited until they had officially gotten to the point where they were no longer eligible for a postseason bowl game.
Yep.
I think that would be
they'd have to be under 500.
Yeah.
500 or below.
And the forecast is not likely we're gonna, because what is our record right now?
2-3.
2-3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's fair. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Well over the 60 minutes. I didn't make up. I didn't do my part to work on the Buzz Baker Comedy Hour. I've still got other shows to make up. All right, let's shut this down.
What would you say? What would you say if it was a coach who said, "We've got other games we can win"? You'd be killing him right now.
As I'm trying to end this show, you keep trying to bait me into keep talking. So
I'm not a clickbaiter or what was it, rage baiter?
Rage baiter. I heard
rage baiter.
Or a farmer.
Oh, you kids. That's why BZ and Lift's on. They keep us honest with all these talking points. So,
new terms.
Yeah, new terms and all that stuff. So, all right, final shots from everyone, and we'll take this home. Let's go with Jay. Give me your final shot, sir.
Shout out to everyone who won back-to-back years in 3-point and dunk contests. From the women's team, Hazze, back-to-back 3-point champion. Trent Noah, back-to-back 3-point champion, and Colin Chandler, dunk champion. So yeah, shout out to them guys.
Without, white dudes can jump, right?
Hey, he's got some bounce.
He does. Didn't he pro day? Was he close to 40 inches?
Running. I think his stand vert was just average, like everyone else. And,
yeah, playing to the stereotype of the.
Yeah.
All right. Oops. BZ, give me your final shots.
My final thought is I'm ready for
shots. Final shot.
My bad. Final shot. Sorry, tired. Plus, I gotta get to bed soon. But my final shot is I'm ready for basketball season. I'm excited to see what the women's and men's basketball team can do this upcoming year. Of course, the women's team, they lost in a heartbreaker in the round of 32. Should have made it to the Sweet 16 at least last year. Men's basketball, they made it to the Sweet 16, and I feel like this year for the men's basketball team, it's Elite 8 or bust for me.
Might be further than Elite 8, but yeah, I'm with you though. All right, Liff, give me your final shot.
My final shot is paying my respects to Sister Jean, lost a basketball legend.
Yeah.
That's all. But on a nicer note, go Lions. I hope they murder the Chiefs.
Whoa. Dang.
Murder. Isn't that against the law? All right. Davo, looking at the signs are still strong. Pissed off fan.
My final shot is I will forever hold a grudge against those nerds down in Aggie land at Texas A&M University and their nosy ass boosters for freaking fucking up our program even more by not taking Stoops. So a big fuck you to Aggie land.
I back up any Aggie hate. I back up any Aggie.
Okay, well, good, Lift. I'm glad you understand that those, you know, they're already nerds as it is, but they're little
Oh, they're not
stupid
nerds. They're
yell.
cult members. They're
Well,
cult
yeah, they are the Chick-fil-A of
Good Lord.
Chick-fil-A brand of college football. They are cults, but somehow or another they happen to be good. So it kind of is what it is. Fuck you, Aggies, for letting this continue to be in misery. Other than that, shout out to the volleyball team, another 3-0 sweep. We're going to go see them this Wednesday, play Auburn. So that will be fun. And shout out to my Atherton Ravens, 5-1 on the season.
Yes.
And 2-0 in district play.
Buzz, take us home. Final shot, my brother.
Oh, just lost a good one last week. Mark Whitworth, who was the associate commissioner to the Southeastern Conference, just a great, great guy. He went to school down in Alabama and died at 70, which these days is much too young. Had some stuff come on really quickly, but he was the guy who basically made all the bowl games what they are with his negotiation and everything. And the funny thing is, we talk about Kentucky and basketball. That dude loved basketball more than any football conference commissioner in the history of the sport. We used to do a thing at the SEC tournament. He would call it the Whoa Classic on Sunday morning. And there must have been about 20 of us that if we had time and we could do it, we'd get down there on Sunday morning at about 8 a.m. and play on the court for about an hour before the teams came in and started warming up, getting ready for the championship game. And so he's a good one, and we'll miss him.
There you go. Good stuff, guys. Thanks for doing this tonight. It was fun.
Hey, let me
stuff.
add real quick. It was also a highlight for Big Blue Madness that Mark Stoops was not there to take another shot at Cal. That was a highlight. So there's
That was a good PR.
He was not there, right?
He was not invited.
Yeah,
No.
not invited or not there.
Let me ease up. I do
invite.
not know that if he was invited or had something else going on. He might have been invited, but he was not there. So
word is, from what I understand, that he was not invited because he was breaking down the film about somehow or another how they struggled against the bye week.
And we're going to beat Texas. I like it. That's why we're going to beat Texas. I like it.
All right. Good stuff tonight. Appreciate you all hanging with me. Round of Shots signing off on this Sunday night. Wishing everyone a good week. Go Cats. Texas next week. And, we'll get everyone's take for next week's show. Peace out.
Peace out.
Good night.
Bye.